This thing looks so good, like so good. So this is Selkirk's new Vanguard Power Air in the Invictus shape. So here's some quick specs for the paddle. It's about 16.5 inches long. It comes in at a 5.25 inch handle length that's octagonal. Thank goodness. It has about a 4 1/4 inch circumference for the grip size. The core is a 13mm polymer core. The weight is averaging around 7.9 to 8.2 ounces. And the face is apparently some sort of carbon fiber and fiberglass blend. So can we just agree that the Selkirk team does a really good job with their designs and their graphics? I mean, just...
Oh my God, guys, this thing looks so good.
Like, this design right here is just so clean that I could probably clean my toilet with it.
Babe? What are you doing?
I just feel like so many paddles out there that are coming out right now with that carbon etched face, you know, like this grooving right here, and even the Warrior Edge. You know, they all just kind of look plain. They're all just the same kind of black surface, and maybe the edge guard changes color a little bit, but for the most part, there's no graphics on them. And I don't know, it's just kind of refreshing to see a top tier paddle coming from Selkirk that just kind of breaks the mold and really stands out without making it look like my 12-year-old self just vomited a bunch of colors into Microsoft Paint and just slapped it onto a paddle. So speaking of looks, you've probably noticed that this is Selkirk's first paddle that's designed without an edge guard. And it's gonna bring up a lot of comparisons with some of the gearbox paddles out there. And rightfully so, because it plays a lot like some of the gearboxes out there that I've played with. When I first took out the Vanguard Power Air, I felt like it played like a great blend of the 002 and the CX11 Power. Maybe sprinkled with a little bit of the forgiveness from the CX14 line as well. I just also want to put it out there that I was not a fan of the 002. Like, I could not play with that paddle to save my life. It just felt unwieldy at times. Like, the balls would go spraying. I couldn't stand the sound that it made. So when the Power Air came out, I was actually very, very skeptical of it. But you know what? I actually really enjoy this paddle a lot. It's much more manageable than the 002, and it has a more crisp and responsive feeling, at least compared with the CX14 from Gearbox. It's basically just a way more forgiving 002, and I would say probably has just the same amount of spin. I initially had a really tough time getting my drops and resets really low, or at least low enough with this paddle, and sometimes I would just pop it up way too high and I would just get burned. I probably just need to play better. Where this paddle shines though is from the baseline with drives, and then also at the kitchen line with rolls and punch volleys. So if you're somebody who likes to do that, this could be it. It has a good deal of power without exerting too much force, and the spin potential really helps you keep the ball in play and keep control of the ball when you're doing rolls or you're being aggressive at the net or attacking from below the net. So if you're a person who likes to drive, shake and bake, like attack any ball that comes at you no matter where it is, this paddle might be the one for you. I do feel like the thin edgeless design helps with the maneuverability and speed of this paddle. So I don't know about you, but I think I personally feel like I generate more spin with paddles that are a little bit thinner. So I know a lot of players out there think that spin just comes from like the grit of the paddle, but I think a lot of players out there also underestimate how having a super thin paddle helps you cut through the air and generate more racket head speed, and that racket head speed also helps generate spin. So speaking of speed, we haven't talked about this hole just yet, and you're probably wondering, does it help with maneuverability and just, you know, cutting through the air like the name implies? The short answer is no. At least I don't think so. But at the same time, I don't think it hurts it either. I think as the hole stands now and how companies are marketing the hole through the paddle, I actually think it's just a pure gimmick. But I actually still like the development of the hole, but not for the reasons that you might think. I think that in the future, manufacturers will be able to mess around with the materials or makeup of this area in the throat and make it a bit more stiff or flexible, which could create some interesting results in how the ball leaves the paddle when struck. So for 250 bucks, is this paddle dope or nope? Clearly it's dope. I mean, come on, let's be real. Just the looks alone.
Oh my God, guys, this thing looks so good.
Would I buy it though? Actually, I don't think I would. What? I feel like the Gearbox CX11 Power does like 90% of what the Selkirk Power Vanguard Air does. It's pretty close, and the extra 10% is probably just coming from the spin potential that the Vanguard Power Air can kind of produce over the Gearbox. But I mean, it's almost negligible. The CX11 still gets plenty of spin. I mean, this one gets a little bit more, but that's just my personal thoughts on it. With all that being said, if you can afford this paddle, you like its specs, you think it suits your game, I don't think you're gonna regret your purchase. Is it for everyone? Probably not. Is it for you? Maybe. If you really like a power game, you like to play fast, this is a really good paddle. All right, that's it for this video. Those are my thoughts on the Vanguard Power Air. Comment down below if you think it's the best looking paddle of 2022, because I think it is.